Welcome to Beyond the Briefing. I'm Shannon Marvell. Today we're breaking down the big return of the Highland Games to Buck Park and the return of some heavyweight guests. With me is our newest reporter to the team, Lauren Cameron, who's been digging into what makes this year's games special. Thanks for joining me today, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with a little bit of history. Tell us a little bit of the background behind Inverness Highland Games.
So this year, the Inverness Highland Games are making their return to Buck Park, which is nestled on the western bank of the River Ness. It's been a long-standing home of the Inverness Highland Games and hosts major shinty and music events throughout the year. So it's basically a go-to sports and culture hub. The games themselves took a short break between 2020 and 2021 due to COVID restrictions, but they made a strong comeback in 2022. That year, organisers celebrated what was called the 200th anniversary, but if you dig a little bit deeper, the real starting point might not be so clear-cut. The history of the Highland Games in Inverness is a bit more complex than I first thought or what it might first appear, and there's been plenty of debate over when they actually began. So without going too deep into the archives, here's a quick rundown. After a quick search, you'll probably see that the first Highland Games were held at Dunane Croy in 1822. But here's the twist, that location is technically outside the historical boundaries of Inverness. It wasn't until 1837 that the Northern Meeting held formal games at Longman Field. And that's the event that's now widely recognised as the first official Inverness Highland Games. It featured many of the traditional events we associate with the game today. After some ups and downs over the years, the Games were properly revived in 1947 by the North of Scotland Amateur Athletic Association, which marked the beginning of the modern Games as we now know them. With all that said, no matter the exact start date, the Games have come a long way from early iterations, which were more practical tests of strength than the cultural celebrations we enjoy today.
Now let's talk big names. The Stoltman brothers, they're returning to the games this year. So what's the story there?
They are, yes. So Luke and Tom Stoltman are world-renowned strongman brothers from Invergordon, and they're set to exhibit and support the Games on the sidelines this year. Known as the world's strongest brothers, both remain passionate about their Highland roots and are committed to promoting local strength sports. So having them back at the Games is a real draw.
It really is. Any word on what they'll be doing?
Well, I had a chat with them recently, and there's a lot going on for them.
We just love watching. I mean, Highland Games is so skillful. I mean, I've had a go at like tossing the caber, and it just comes back to me. It's so skillful, and until you actually see it in person, you don't realise how much. Just like Strawman, the respect you give to these guys. But we'll probably have a shot at the weight for height. I think we did that last time, and then there's a stone event to do at the end that you put the stone over the bar without touching it. So yeah, we'll do that, and hopefully we can get a few people doing that. But we'll also go over and support the Highland Games guys because it's it's cool to watch. Like I said, it's nice to be on the sidelines and actually shout at them instead of actually doing it. But we've dipped our toe in Highland Games before, and I can say I'm not the very best at it, and I'll just leave it to the pros because I've tried to do, I think, the hammer throw, and I think it's landed between me and you before.
Went the wrong way, yeah.
Yeah, it went the wrong way, so I went backwards instead of forwards, so I got minus points instead of positive points. And I'm not used to getting minus points, but it was a weird one. But yeah, it's we're gonna be here and just give support, have some fun, do some, and also yeah, we're gonna have a wee challenge for the first time at our stall. First some fun for any ages to come and have a go at it and just win some merchandise from the Stoltman brothers as well. So that'll be quite fun to do as well. So yeah, we're just gonna have some fun and watch people lift weights, and we're gonna join in as well. So.
Now, let's talk about tradition. It is so important for the Highland Games to continue, not just for the sport, but for the tradition. You and I both go to the Nairn Games on a yearly basis, and we have said that families come home to the Highlands, specifically Nairn as well. It's a pinnacle event on everyone's calendar, wherever you are in the Highlands. But these events have a history as well.
Exactly. And I had the chance to speak to Bruce McGregor, owner of McGregor's Bar here in Inverness, and also a renowned fiddler. And he told us how people come to the Games for tradition, but often experience something new too.
I think we're expecting some of the best music and song that you could possibly get in the Highlands, actually. And the exciting thing for me is that we're getting to share it with a worldwide audience. I think that's the key thing about Highland Games. People come here expecting the traditional things, the caber tossing, the heavyweight events. But when they hear the music, it all ties in together. You know, it's not just about piping competitions. Here we have a ceilidh that's going to be performing on the Saturday night to 800 people, which I think is probably the biggest ceilidh I know about anyway. It's for set dancing anyway. So that is very, very exciting. And I think that bringing of locals together with visitors is a real highlight of our calendar.
And the Games have a royal history as well.
It's the history of strength, you know, the strength, like strength as we know it, like world's strongest man, that came from Scotland. It came from lifting stones many years ago, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. The strongest man would be then the king's bodyguard, you know. So that was, it's etched in history in Scotland, and I think it's so important to remember that.
I think it's something that we actually should be playing on even more. I mean, the musicians who are taking part in this, some of the guys who've been playing in our bar since they've been 15, 16, 17 years old, are now playing a ceilidh in front of, you know, hundreds and hundreds of people and having a great time. And I think it's something that hopefully locals can start getting really involved with as well, and start getting in and enjoying a ceilidh. Because, you know, it doesn't matter if you're from Achildebuie or Austin, Texas, you know, a ceilidh is a ceilidh. It's a bringing together of people, and it's just brilliant fun. So I think that's one of the key elements for locals to really enjoy. But I think as well, when you come down here and you see what's been done to the, you know, to this area, to the Bucht, it's quite incredible. So we've got something to be very, very proud of. You can, you know, a lot of people complain about Inverness, but in actual fact, if you look at what we've got facility-wise here compared to any other town or city in Scotland, I would say we are outperforming them by a considerable mile. I think the thing that I'm really looking forward to is the biggest strip the willow I've ever seen in my life happening in here. I think that is going to be quite incredible. It's going to be warm, so we have told the guys running the bar, make sure we've got plenty of refreshments, so that'll keep people going. But I think that's going to be fun. Just looking at the youngsters' faces when they see what they're going to be playing in today, I think that's going to make my weekend, you know, it's something special.
So what's to be expected this year?
Two big things. This year's ceilidh has already completely sold out, with around 800 people expected. Bruce said he's looking forward to the biggest strip the willow he's ever seen. And on top of that, the strongman presence brings a global edge. The Stoltmans were at the Games in 2024, but Tom was competing and unable to attend. So this time it's bigger, more visibility, more events, more energy.
Sounds like the perfect mix of tradition, athletics, and as well as that celebrity factor as well. So, Lauren, if people are thinking of going to visit the Inverness Highland Games this year, what should they expect?
I would say plan for a full day, bring the family along, check the schedule online, maybe get there early for the bigger events, and dress for outdoor weather. We are expecting a heat wave this weekend, but being Scotland, we all know the weather could change at a moment's notice.
Brilliant. Thanks, Lauren, for the catch up.
Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to Beyond the Briefing, the stories behind the headlines, diving deeper into the biggest local stories in the Highlands. This podcast is brought to you by Highland News and Media. It's hosted by Shannon Marvell and produced by Christopher Dixon. If you enjoyed this show, make sure to subscribe and share with others who care about local journalism.